Afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to PBTV. So another very exciting platform we've brought out today. So this is the Evolution Airsoft E-416 10-inch. There is a 14.5-inch version as well. It is just the barrel that's different, not the actual rail system. But this is also the ETS III version. Very, very competent platform. The programmability of it is absolutely incredible. You've got loads and loads of options. But as always, I'll start at the front and work my way back. If there are any questions at all about the Evolution Airsoft or just any questions in general about Evolution, please drop them down below. We'll try and flash them up on screen and try and answer you as quickly as possible. So, the 10-inch CQB variant, obviously in the name CQB, the 14.5-inch variant, the rail system is the same. It is just the outer barrel that is a little bit longer. There are also some slightly different rail versions, and there is a tan version as well. So if you're wanting to have a choice, it's just a sort of a visual choice. Apart from that, the gearbox inside is identical, and always with the hop in a barrel and bits like that are all identical. So the options between each one are just a visual thing. So starting off at the front, we have a standard bird cage. Underneath that, we do have a 40mm counterclockwise thread. So any of your standard accessories will go on the front, so you can trick this out to your heart's content. Tracer units, flash hiders, everything like that. There's definitely some common builds we see with platforms like this, so it is always a good option that it is a 40mm and it is counterclockwise. Coming back from that, we do have a single sling point actually on the gas block here. It's not going to be used very often. It is just there as an addition, but sometimes on the front there you can sort of double use them with the rail being there. You can lock your sling against it and use it a little bit like a hand stop as well. It just means that your indexing is really, really good. Not a primary choice permanently. I'd probably stick to the sling points at the back and have a single or double point at the back, but you do also have some sling points on the stock as well. So you do have a very large amount of choice when it comes to sling points, and again, with this thing being almost 3 kilos, I would definitely recommend a sling, because running around with this for a while, you're going to know about it. Yeah, I think it is just a smidge under 3 kilos as it is, so you start putting optics, devices, BBs in it, and tricking it up, it's going to get a little bit weighty. So we have the iconic quad rail on the front, so we've got standard RIS on the right, left, top and bottom. There are other variants that have what look like M-LOK, but it's not. The other style version that does look like M-LOK is a proprietary system and needs screw-in rail system. So this one having rail on it out the box is always a bonus, and as always you have a lot of real estate for accessories. Grips on the bottom, 203s if you want them, pec boxes on the top, torches on the side. You've got every different option that you can think of. As for iron sights, they are fixed in place at the front. There is no form of adjustable on the front one. It is simply on or off, so it is a fixed pin. ODST, does it have a tight bar? Yes. So underneath that, underneath that 14.5mm, it is a 6.01 tight bar. So anything under a 6.03 or a 6.03 and under is considered a tight bar, but a 6.01 is a sort of very high precision tight bar. So personally, this sort of leads this for me to believe that this is designed to be sort of a semi-auto platform. It is going to full auto and it is going to be fine, but you are going to have a little bit more of an FPS drop with your full auto, just purely because it's how physics works. But it does mean that precision shooting, range, consistency, accuracy are all going to be absolutely top-notch and very consistent between shot as well. Reaper, can you fit different stocks? Yes, absolutely. It is a standard M4 stock tube under there, and as you can see, it is slightly different how you adjust it. It is on the back rather than on the bottom. It's at the back there, so sliding it 6-position stock. Apart from that, if you want to put a CTR, a standard sort of a PTS, what they called EPS stock on here, that will fit as well. But what the standard would give you is a easy access, so it's simply a twist to get in there, so you've got easy access to your battery compartment, and you can fit crane stocks in this. If you're wanting to fit sort of something like a CTR, something narrow, you will have to get batteries that will fit down a stock tube. Another question on YouTube. What batteries is it capable of taking? So with it being UK, we always suggest 7.4 to prevent pre-engagement or any possible damage, because if you are going beyond this sort of, not beyond the power, but 11.1 speed and everything like that, your gears are spinning faster than the spring can push the piston forward. That then gives you something called pre-engagement, which means your gears are coming round before your piston is all the way forward, and it can cause damage. So what we suggest is the 7.4, slows the gears down, it doesn't change your FPS or anything like that, you'll have a slightly lower rate of fire, but again, this is a precision type bore barrel, so semi-auto is going to be best. So as for the actual space in the back, crane stocks are going to be fine, but it is a Dean's connector as well. There is an adapter in the box, so if you don't have Dean's battery, but you have been airsofting for a while and you've got Tamiya batteries, you do have an adapter to fit them. So you could either fit something like a 1200 stick inside the stock tube, but if you want something a little bit more than that, a 1300 or 1400 nunchuck or a crane battery will fit down either side. Again, if someone was asking if you change the stock, yes, you can absolutely. It will simply slide off. And if you wanted to put something slimmer like a Batlax or a CTR, you will have to put a stick battery in there. But apart from the wiring and the connector, there's no MOSFET inside the tube. I know with things like G&Gs and things like that, sometimes you have a little computer or a MOSFET inside the stock. There's none on this, so you do have quite a bit of space, and inherently I've been able to fit quite comfortably sort of 1450 stick batteries inside the stock tube quite comfortably and still be able to fit the stock back on. Dom on Facebook. I need one for a custom DevRegu project. Yes. So if you are looking for something, if you're going for like a SEAL Team 6 loadout or anything like that, platforms like this are 10 a penny. So what would make you go over this one over anything else? Well, inside here we have what's called the ETS III system. So Evolution's Electronic Trigger 3. So what that gives you access to is you've got burst options, you've got binary trigger, you have a ramping system in this, and you have sniper delay. So that gives you an option for every single different type of build. You're not quite wanting to go full auto, but you're wanting that capability, but obviously your round count is limited because you do only have mid caps. Burst is a great option for not burning through your ammo too quickly. With it being a 6.01, the binary trigger, which means that you can fire on pull and release, it means you're still keeping that semi-auto, but you're still going to get the benefits of the 6.01. Ramping, so if you're in semi-auto and you fire a few rounds, you keep into that semi-auto. But if things start going wrong, and you start semi-autoing to a certain speed, it will automatically flick into full auto and start full autoing. It gives you that options. Obviously, be very aware of that being on and off in a CQB site because it is blatantly not allowed, and it is considered full auto. So outdoors, it's totally fine, but ramping is just one of them things that are a little bit weird. Trigger delay, so if you do want to put this all the way up into a DMR or a sniper configuration, that is doable because they do have the sniper delay configuration in this. So it will only semi-auto, and there is a timed delay between each shot. So it doesn't matter how fast you pull that trigger, it will only fire a shot every so many seconds. Again, make sure it is legal for your site and you have permission within the rules to do that. But I know Proving Grounds, we allow trigger delay snipers, we allow binary outside, we allow ramping as long as it's in the semi-auto, as long as you're staying in the full auto areas only. So all these options are really, really good for a specific build that you're doing for. So externally, you've got that DevGru platform that you can build it to, but what you also have is you have the options inside to build it into any platform you want, which the more options, the better. So if you're going from one site to another, you've got free reign to do that. And it is all done through trigger pulls. The instructions are in the box. Various different trigger pulls allow you to program it differently. But yeah, having so many options in a single platform just allows this to sit in every different type of role, whether or not it's fast, aggressive, binary trigger, loads of rounds down range, or even ramping, you can do that. You've then got the trigger delay if you want to go DMR or sniper, and with it having that 6.01, it kind of fits in both of them as well. But yeah, Paul Eastwood. Does it have a rotary hop? Yes. As you'll hear me harp on about all the time, really like the rotary hops over most others, purely because once they are set, it is very, very hard for the sort of the workings of an AEG because there is movement, there's vibration, everything like that. So things can slightly just tweak and adjust over time. Rotary, it's very, very difficult for that to do because they are in a different axis to the way things are spinning. Obviously, it might slightly adjust, but they are just far more consistent to other things. It is quite easy to adjust without gloves on and everything like that, so can be done in-game, and as you can see, it does hold open when you rack the bolt back. Simply pressing the paddle, goes forward, and you can carry on as normal. Reaper, is it heavy? Yes. Heavy in a sense that it's not up there with like LMGs or anything like that, but for an AR or a standalone sort of assault player's loadout, without anything on it, it is 2.9 and a bit, so it might as well be 3 kilos for all that's said, but you're going to start putting optics on this, attachments, everything like that. It is weighty, but it is extremely comfortable as well. You've got that really oversized grip. The stock, a lot of people aren't overly fans of these, but I do think that they sit and shoulder really, really nicely, and they've just got easy access. So with it being the twist and entry to get batteries in and out, it means that it's quite easy to do something like that in the field. But yeah, as a 3 kilo platform, the counter to that is the fact that this ETS III system and the gearbox in here is absolutely top notch and will sit in absolutely any role that you're looking at. Chris Scott on YouTube. What's the best hop up and barrel for a Pioneer breacher? It depends what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to increase range or trying to increase accuracy, there's various different things. But off the bat, the standard protocol for improving a platform in general is, I'd have to see if a new Prol is already a type ball, but double check whether or not it is a 6.03 in there. If it is, you might as well leave it alone because there's no point changing the actual barrel itself. But apart from that, look at a Pro-Win hop and maybe sort of like a Prometheus rubber or anything like that, or just try and find out what degree rubber is in yours, and then you can slightly increase the degree, so the hardness of a hop unit is measured in degrees. Increase the hardness and just increase the weight BB that you're using. So increasing the hardness means that they have a better application of hop to heavier BBs, means that you're going to be able to increase the weight, keep it as a tight ball, and then your just hop's going to affect the BB for longer. That gives you a bit more range. If you're after accuracy, again, if it's not a 6.03, go down to a 6.03. Anything like a Mad Bull or a Maple Leaf will be perfect for that setup. Again, anything like that, if you want to contact our workshop, you can do, and they will give you the best advice of what's available, and they will know what's in your platform as well, so they can give you the best advice of how to improve it. So, looking at controls on this one, it is right-handed dominant because it is a sort of standard out-the-box platform. So we've got safe, semi, and full auto on the right-hand side. I have shown that the paddle still works on the left, and the mag release, again, I did mention, so it does come with a 120-round mid-cap magazine, so you will need a speed loader to load this, but as always, with any standard AEG, any AEG M4 magazines will drop straight in this. So if you are wanting to drum mag or run high caps, that's totally fine. Any other mid caps will fit. The mags, EPM or EPS or anything like that will drop straight in and function totally fine. So if there's any other questions, please drop them down. I will again go from front to back for those that have just joined us and just do another quick run through. So as I said earlier, it does have the 14mm counterclockwise thread on the front of it. So any of your standard accessories, people saying that they wanted to do the DevGru look, so you're going to need a can on the front. The standard quad rail, so again, with that same loadout, pack box and grip will fit perfectly on here, and then you've got space for torches and everything on the sides. Pre-fitted iron sights, it is an Allen key on the side. If you want to remove them, take the Allen key out, these will split into two and come off, but you have a fixed pin at the front, so there's no adjustment at the front, and then you have an aperture style adjustment at the back. So again, these are just very, very sort of basic iron sights. Again, it's airsoft. Are you using your iron sights? Probably not. You're going to stick an optic on this, or you're going to look down the side and see where your BBs are going. But again, it's a look, so that's what we're playing for. Metal receiver, so again, with it having the metal rail, metal receiver and all the parts, that's probably what is adding all up to be that 3 kilos. right-handed dominant controls. I did say that when you rack it back, you will find the rotary hop in there, nice bright orange, which has become a signature of the Evolution platform. Press the paddle and it comes forward. Big, chunky standard stock that is quite easily accessible to your battery. You just twist it and you can go in, and it is a Dean's connector in there as well. Does the 416 have a different upper receiver, or can it fit the Angry Gun L119 rail? No, so you can probably just about see on camera there is a line that goes across there. So that line is where an AR platform would finish. So a 416 platform and a 416 rail are taller than M4 rails, and they are keyed. So there is a key point in there to make sure the rail slots and fits into the right point. So M4 rails do not fit onto 416 style receivers. And in the past, the magazines had problems as well, but that's all gone. What weight BB would you recommend for this, Paul Eastwood? Quite comfortably 2.5s all day, but I think with it having the tight bore and the rotary style hop, I would and the range that this thing's probably going to produce, it's churning out 310 FPS, but I'd probably quite comfortably run 2.8s in this, because it's that semi-auto sort of styling, the way that they've gone with the ETS and the binary trigger, trigger delay, ramping and everything like that. They are focusing on that semi-auto, and a 6.01 again focusing on semi-auto, because you are going to have a drop off of FPS when you full auto with an extreme tight ball like that. So rotary hop and that kind of system, definitely a 2.8. I wouldn't mind trying something a little bit heavier just to see what it can handle, but again, if you just keep going heavier, you are going to be able to hop it, but you are going to just start bringing your range back in. So 2.8s, I think this is going to be an absolute phenomenal platform, and it's just all going to meld together with the trigger system, the hop and the barrel, and it's all going to work really, really nicely. So mentioned the magazine as a 120 round, but all in all, super impressed with this thing. Chris Scott, is the max hop up until compatible with an M4? Yes, so a max hop will fit a standard M4 or a standard version 2 style system, and it will fit this. I've never had first-hand experience with them. I've never used a platform that's had one. I normally stick to, or I've normally used ProWinds and things like that, but I know a lot of friends who run them and swear by them, but I've personally not had hands-on experience with it yet, so I won't want to comment. But they do have a following, so that usually doesn't come from nowhere. But they would fit a system like this, and they will fit your standard M4 system. But this has been the Evolution E416 10-inch ETS III system. I think guys are going to be extremely happy with this when they get their hands on it, and just the options that ETS III gives you with the burst system, binary. Obviously this is the 10-inch system. If you wanted to go to that trigger delay, you could get the 14.5, so you've got the one that has the slightly longer barrel. You've got a slightly different rail version that's got the sleeker, slimmer rail, and you do have dual tone. You've got a tan variant as well. But apart from that, the sort of beating heart inside and the ETS is identical. So again, if you're trying to pick between, but you think performance is going to be different, not at all. The actual system itself, the ETS III system, is the gearbox, the MOSFET, the hop, and the barrel. Apart from that, the only differences are external. So it comes down to looks and what you think is going to best fit your styling. But as always, thanks very much for the questions. Makes my life much, much easier. And we hope you have enjoyed the Evolution's 416. These things are going to be absolute beasts on the field, and as soon as someone sees these things at range, they'll understand. And this ETS III is just something to definitely get your hands on. Try one out. A 260mm barrel, 6.01, and an ETS system in a platform like this is going to be an absolute contender for the best of them. But if that's everything for today, thank you very much for joining us. As always, if you like the content that we're doing, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Drop us a like, drop us a comment. It is very much appreciated. But if that's everything, I will catch you again on Wednesday for another product review. As always, send us a message if there's something you want us to look at. But if that's everything, I'll catch you then. See you in a bit. Bye.